Hello everyone, welcome. It's Thursday night, it's a bonus night. It's a bonus night because if you were in last night, you saw what happened last night. We got within a whisker of winning the League One title with Huddersfield. We got promoted though, we still got promoted, we ballsed it up on the last day of the season. We could have been champions. Things fell into our laps, but unfortunately, as tends to be the way, fate dealt us a different blow. We got promoted, that's fine. We looked around, we thought, what's going to happen? What's going to be our next move? As you can see, our next move has been decided. Welcome to Crystal Palace. That's right, folks. Season 14 is going to kick off with us at Crystal Palace. Quite the move, I think, to be honest. I think we were looking at what we had as our options last in the summer. Huddersfield, we could have stayed and had a go in the Championship, but I think, deep down we were all like, there's nothing going to happen with Huddersfield. We're not going to do anything in the Championship. It's going to take far too much luck to fly straight through. Welcome in, Why Callum. How are you, my man? Absolute pleasure to see you. Appreciate the raid. Welcome, of course, Callum's crew as well. You've joined us. We've literally just got ourselves up and running. We're about to start talking about the fact we've taken over at Crystal Palace, Callum. We left Huddersfield. We're just saying there, we left them in the summer of 2035. Crystal Palace was up here, and the other options that we had Crystal Palace, we had Leeds, Middlesbrough, and East Fife again was an option. We got an interview for East Fife, and they were like, we recognise you. And I'm like, yeah. I had glasses and a moustache and a hat on. And they're like, you sound familiar. Like, no, we've not been around here before. We're completely brand new. You have no idea who we are. Palace, we promised the earth to. We promised the absolute earth. Evening, Dadson, welcome in. A pleasure to see you. There's a wild comedian in the midst. You've gone very, very, very South Fife. Yes, exactly. East Fife was up there. We've gone all the way to South London Fife to try there. And Palace was the option. So we looked at it and we thought, right, okay, they've underachieved in the Championship. They finished 13th. Last season, they were expected to finish 5th. So they massively underachieved. That is, of course, where we're hoping to pick up. They've been relegated the season before. But what's interesting is they didn't necessarily underachieve overall, because 16th in the Championship, fine. That tells one story. Look at this, though. They actually got within a hair's width of the Carabao Cup final. They lost 2-1 to Chelsea in the first leg, then beat them 2-1 in the second leg on the telly. So they nearly got to the final of the Carabao Cup. And then they also got to the quarterfinals of the FA Cup as well. So they have a bit of pedigree, to be honest. So this is a good side. And they played that bloody awful 4-2-3-1, which I hate. Interesting that no one's telling us what they played here. I'm suspecting 4-2-3-1 as well. But overall, they look pretty handy, to be honest. They finished the season in pretty good form. But not just that. Huddersfield gave us £1 million to spend, 1.7 million. Crystal Palace are going to give us 36 million to spend in the same division. And now I'm not saying that, it's a level playing field in football. Of course it's not. But when Huddersfield are promoted and they've been given £1.7 million to spend, Crystal Palace are going to give you £36 million to spend in the same league. We're not playing in the same league, really, are we? We are not playing. And Dadson's right. I have not got a clue what to do with 36 million quid. For me, it seems very much like we're here for 36 seasons. £1 million a season, we'll be absolutely fine. We'll spend within our means. We'll get a couple of loan players in and a freebie. It'll be brilliant. The fans will be sat there going, why are we not spending this money? And I'll be like, I don't really fancy it. Well, what if it all goes wrong? What if it's not real? What if it's crypto and it suddenly plummets and we're in debt? I don't know. Too many questions I need to answer. So that's the first port call there. The finances look amazing. £1.5 million wage budget. We're only spending £1 million out of our wage budget. Only £1 million of our wage budget. Tranmere gave you 900,000 when you moved to the Championship, Raggio. Oh no. There's a whole bunch of trifles. We can buy a trifle factory here at Arsenal. We should sell loads of people, by the way. Arsenal's in, Zara's in, Zeep's in, Broadsist as well as here, of course. Dadson, Raggio, Mike Callum, of course, has come in from the raid, bringing his wonderful community over as well. Excuse me, Barton's here, Fat Niger's here, A15 is here, Dan's here, John the Player's here. Everyone's having a lovely time. If you are brand new, by the way, feel free to drop a follow on this. We normally stream Mondays, Wednesdays, Fridays, but because we changed jobs last night, we figured we'd come on. These are kind of our, like, a bit like what Callum did last night, this very intense planning session for who to bring in for next season. We kind of vibe on them now, to be honest. I know there's a squad planner, but we've got a squad planner here. It's called a pen and a paper. That's what we work with over here, right? We go through the squad meticulously, work out what we've got, and then we sort of have a quick look and go, right, this is what we need to start doing at this point. This is how we're going to start to try and plan. We had a quick nosy around the squad yesterday. Goalkeepers is the first thing we need to do, because the 3 goalkeepers we've got, 1 is leaving and the other 2 is shit. So a goalkeeper is the first thing we need right now. I'm going to show you what we've got in terms of players, playing staff. We have to work out a tactic as well. Now, they've been playing 4-2-3-1 and it looked like it was working. I don't want to change everything too much, but I hate 4-2-3-1. It's just so shit. I'm a 4-4-2 guy. Like, they're a 4-4-2 team as well. It's Crystal Palace. Come on, they know what they are, right? They're not coming in and being like, oh, you know what's great, like, 4-2-3-1s. They're like, look, let's be honest. 4-2-3-1's a bit fancy. Some players, of course, that we might still be able to stop contracts happening for, but we'll work out what we got. 4-2-1-3. Ooh, okay, Dadson, I like the sound of that. That could be interesting. 4-2-3-1 Gegenpress is a cheat code. It's dirty, innit? It's dirty. TJFM ball. That's low block 4-4-2, Dan. I'm all for that. But you know what? As we've always said, a tactic is only based on what the players actually are and what the squad says. So if we end up with 3 strikers that are really, really good, we play with 3 strikers. If it ends up with 1 striker and a bunch of midfielders who are decent, we play a 4-5-1, which is kind of what we played last time. If it's 4-4-2, it's 4-4-2. If it's, you get the drift. If we end up with 3 centre-backs, we'll go 3 centre-backs. We haven't done that on the save yet, but there you go. We are seeing what we have. Play with no real central midfielders, 2 DMs and 1 AM. Could work. That could work. Evening, Skick, how are you? Welcome in. Can we keep the Michael Owen ban, although he was the one who told you to move to 4-4-2? I think we maybe keep off Michael Owen tonight, possibly. If the strikers are crap, strikerless returns. Raggio already suggested we turn to the dark arts. Do remember, though, from yesterday, we do have a couple of strikers, but they are a bit upset. Seems to be a bit of a theme, to be honest, in this thing. Fact of the day, I'm starting to earn money online. There's questions. There's questions as to how you're doing it. Is it legal? Is it not? Let's find that out. Surely defensive long ball football, following in the footsteps of Palace greats such as Warnock, Big Sam, Pulis, and Roy. Oh, at 15, I think I've just enjoyed myself. Tony fans, Tony fans. Evening orders for the record. I never liked Huddersfield. Appreciate that, Boom Smithy. Appreciate that. Can't play without 2 wingers. They just love their play. I mean, let's have a look, shall we? Let's see what we've got. And if it looks good, we'll do it. If it's not, then we'll work out where we go. So as we said, goalkeepers are all crap. All crap, okay? Oops, just punched the microphone. That's how bad they are. So apologies if you've just got a thud in your ears there. It's terribly so. It's still shaking there. Just didn't mean to hit you. Right, so here's Josh Griffith. He apparently is the best goalkeeper at the club and is wanted by Ipswich and Cardiff. So that tells you pretty much where we're at. So Griffith is gonna go, right? Get rid of him. Not very good. 33 years old. No problem, but not great. Carlos Azon, 34 years old, joining Nancy. He is Carlos Agon. You like that, Callum? You like that? He's already gone. Who Griffiths was good for you at Pompey. Oh, okay, 15, but he looks quite crap now though. He does look quite crap. And this is Felix Abubakar, who also looks dreadful. So yeah, let's look at a goalkeeper. That's priority number one is goalkeeper. Unless we've got one in the under 21s or the under 18s. And I'd be worried if we've got one in the under 18s and under 20s who's better than what we've got and he just isn't playing. I'd be worried by that. No, we haven't. Caddy in as a third choice. Caddy left. Sounds like we talked about a wife. Caddy's left. He's not coming back. No, didn't he go and join a team in France, I believe? Sure about that. I think that might have been the thing. Right. Well, okay. Hold that thought for now anyway. The caddy. We didn't bring the caddy in at League One, remember? We're now talking Championship. Okay? This is Championship with a view to doing half decent in the Championship. Okay, that's the plan. Right. So, defender right. OJ's in the chat will remember that TJ is very successful as goalkeepers. That is a good point. That is a dreadful point. Oh, shit. Would have been nice to have just had one, wouldn't it? Just one goalkeeper who was half decent. Hello, loan market. Let's see what you can throw up at us right now. Okay. Kerr Smith is on loan out of the club to Marseille. Now, quack like a duck. Welcome in. Appreciate the follow. Very kind. He barely played at Palace. He came in. He had 7 games, then 1 game, then out to Montpellier. So that's a bit of an interesting move, to be honest. £6.5 million. We just threw him straight out. Right. Okay. Interesting. Who's our right backs? Let's see. Right backs. Oh, he's a centre back. That's Scully's a centre back. Diaz. We did this yesterday. It's Diaz and Menendez, I think it is, isn't it? Diaz is fine, apart from tackling. Marking's not brilliant either. Like what we said last night, mentally and physically, very, very good. Technically, a bit shit, really. So I'm going to put a question mark on him. How far into the save are we? We're about to start season 14, quack like the duck. This is season 14 now. We've been all over the place. But you know what, quack, because you're brand new. We'll show you what we've done. This is what we've done so far. That's the list right there. We started at Banbridge. We started unemployed first of all. Right, we started at Banbridge in Northern Ireland, then Portadown, Northern Ireland, Dungannon, Linfield in Northern Ireland as well. Then into England, we did Oxford United, went to East Fife after 3 years. We had a season at East Fife in Scotland. Then we had 2 years, 18 months at Huddersfield Town. And now we are at Crystal Palace. And this is what we're playing for. So, it says there, season 13. Technically wrong, it's now season 14. It's obviously last night's graphic, which just needs updating a little bit. That's what we've won. So we are, of course, now in the position where it's like we can do some bits and pieces. In fact, there you go. Let's just update that quickly. There we go, number 14, right? So anything that's in yellow is what we can compete for this season. Anything that's in green is what we've already won. Anything that's white, not something we can do, to be honest. So there we go. That's us. Jeremy Diaz is a thumb down. I'd probably agree. He's a backup, really, isn't he? At best. A backup at best. Menendez was another guy that kind of like split opinion because he appears to have pissed off a lot of people. He's kicking off that he wants to leave because of the fact they got relegated prior to us coming, of course. But he's a bit more balanced, I think. He's got some stuff there that's fairly handy, bar his tackling. His work rate's not that good, if I'm honest, and his composure's a bit weak, but really agile, good acceleration, stamina, determination, decision making's pretty good. Crossing and dribbling's fine. I think he's probably our first choice backup. At the minute, if we couldn't sign a new right back, Mendes is the right back, but with an idea of looking to replace him, essentially. He's got question marks, Dan, but I'm saying if we don't get another right back right now, then he's better than Ocampo, who's the third choice. Do you know what I mean? We've got players in there who we sort of need to start looking to move on, you know? Although marking and passing, positioning, tackling, he's probably more of a fullback, you know? So I'd say he's probably the backup. Jumping reach of 4 is a worry though, so that could be a concern. 30 grand, 14 games played. Maybe we move him on as well. Actually, Tok is our left back. But the thing is, we've got a bit of an interesting one though, because we've also got another player coming in who might end up being the guy who replaces him, because this guy's wanted by Fulham. 58 grand a week. That's a lot. We've got Sam Jones here, can kind of do pretty much the same. Wanted by Leeds, Norwich and Leipzig, so we want to kind of keep him here. 21 years old, 6'1", very, very low wages. So maybe we offer him a new contract, try and get him to stay. Anyone older than 27 should be instantly sacked. 28 is ancient. I do tend to agree with you, Dadson, to be honest, in a sense, but I think that I'm going to try and be a little bit more pragmatic about it this time. But yes, we might have to buy one or two experienced heads just to get us through some bits and pieces. I'm not planning on sort of like building the squad around them, but if an experienced head needs to come in, then so be it, you know. So defender centre, Lewis Parsons is probably going to be our first choice centre back, to be honest. Owena, welcome in. Appreciate you being here. First time introductions. Nice. Experience great for the mentoring groups too. Exactly. So Parsons, I think, is first choice centre back. Convince him not to go to Wolves, Fulham or Norwich. Jumping reach 18, heading 14, marking 13, tackling 13, positioning 14, concentration 16. He's the guy. Tony Jameson claiming we need experienced heads, a very Tony thing to say. Basically what I'm saying is I need old players in there, because they're the ones who aren't sort of like swayed by all this new thing like half space and pressing traps and, you know, progressive passes and expected assists. I want all players who just know how to fucking kick a ball hard, right? And know that if they're in trouble, to boot it out. That's what I want. None of your fancy players who take on, fucking energy gels. I want a centre-back who has a cup of tea and a cigarette at half-time. Lads who go down the local on a Saturday after the game. During the game, Callum. During the game. Boothie, I've got no idea what you've just said. Oh, it's how all the young people speak. If in doubt, thump it out. None of this Segundo Volante bullshit. Exactly. All of your old players are the young players of today. Nothing wrong with a good energy gel and a vape. O'Brien is absolutely a great shout though, by the way, for a centre half. All players are long gone. They're a dying breed, literally. So this is where he is. Wanted by Sheffield United, who got promoted, by the way. They got promoted. So we are waiting to have a quick look at him. Sheffield United, I think, won the league, if I'm very much mistaken. They won the league, so they're going up. So I love a Segundo Volante, to be honest. But let's be honest, it's just a box-to-box midfielder with a fancy name. Like, that's all it is. So Parsons is is the first choice centre half. Jamie Luke Robert Smith, the player that has all of the names under the sun. I think we try and keep him. I know he's got some bids in for him, Everton and Norwich, but is he worth keeping, or do we just cash in? He's a good player, apparently. A good player. Marking of 13, jumping of 15, acceleration of 14, bravery of 17, anticipation of 15, positioning, teamwork, work rate's all right. Keep him just for the shirt sales, charge by the letter. Yeah, there's no way he's grown up in a council estate, is it? Hello, I'm Jamie Luke. What percentage of transfer revenue are we getting? I mean, 90%. I guess once we're getting towards 36 million quid, they're kind of like, yeah. Well, next season's minimum guaranteed budget is 17 million. Okay, so here's the thing. Do we spend some money now before next season? Because that might drop down then. That's an interesting thing, isn't it? So if I spend 20 million quid right now, then we've at least got that. Okay, right. Spend. Go shopping. Right, I want to kind of keep him then. Get the cash out. Have we put contract negotiations in for him? We want to get, well, yeah, right, come on, right. Let's just tell him that we can get the... What is the Brace Steel Challenge? So the Brace Steel Challenge, Owena, is we have to basically win everything we possibly can in England, Scotland, Wales, and Northern Ireland. And that means basically we have to club hop, essentially. And at the minute, we're 14 seasons in. And we're currently at Crystal Palace. Big jump in wages there, man, for to be honest. Ronan Scully, I think we can probably get rid of, to be honest. In fact, actually, he is leaving right now. £30 million and a wonder kid goalie. Pretty much a UK glory hunter. Yeah, I guess so. Yeah, that probably is the best way of describing it, to be honest. Right, he can go. He's out of contract. Diaz, we know about. Katanich. I mean, it's a 31-year-old Croatian centre-half. This is right up my street, right here. We have actually got 3 centre-backs at this point as well. I'm just pointing it out there. Parsons, Robert Smith, Katanich. Dives into tackles. Of course he does. Jay White. He's not very good at all, is he really? Doesn't really have any interest in moving. I mean, that's a shame for him, really, but you know, he is gonna be leaving. Right, so Jay White's out. He's the new Roy Keane keeper. What, this guy? No, he's not. He's no good. Anticipation's too low for an anchor. We get into the midfield though. This is where it starts getting interesting, right? Because we've got this guy, Francisco Militao. Now he could be our ball-winning midfield, our half-back, essentially. Ball-winning midfielder / half-back, okay? Yeah, he is wanted by Forest. The skin is the Tato skin. Potato skins. Get them downloaded there. I need to update Nightbot as well. And someone's going to be like, "Oh, it says that you're managing." It says that you're managing Huddersfield, and you're not. So let's change that quickly. Update there. All right, change that. Season 14. We're currently managing Crystal Palace. English Championship. This is our 8th club. And is there another one where I've actually given you all the breakdown of what's gone on? Let's have a quick little check here. No, I took it off because it was getting too confusing. There, right, that's that done. Sorry, back in there. What's better, tackling for an anchor? Not really. See, for me, right, I'm gonna slightly. This is how we had Dempsey playing last year for Huddersfield. He wasn't tackling; he was in the position to intercept the ball, and what he was a big bugger who could header. And that's a big bugger, 6'4" with jumping reach of 17. That's going to get those balls cut out. Anyone who tries to play the ball over the top, he's going to stop it. Plus, if we're going to go with 3 centre backs, then he's able to help drop into that position there as well to help them out to make a back 4 again. He's going to suss things out. He's at decent enough anticipation, decent enough acceleration. And then he's not really going to be looking to give the ball. He'll just give the ball to someone else to do all the work. So we partner him with a DLP, I reckon, who can then make things happen. Good teamwork, good work rate. I might stop this deal, to be honest. I don't really want him to stay. I don't want him to go to Forest. Never seen anyone jump reach as high, value jump reach as highly as TJ. Pretty much the first stat check on every profile. It's a thing. It's a thing. Like, for me, if you look at how we play, we don't want to be caught by balls going over the top. So we might as well try and cut that out first of all, and by doing that, get people who are pretty tall, because jumping reach is better than heading. Everyone knows that. Like, heading is an almost, it's almost like a useless attribute, really. And although they go slightly hand in hand, like jumping reach and heading, you think, right, gets up, is he actually going to head it on target? I'm interpreting that more that's for set pieces. He might not necessarily score the header, but he might get up there. So that's what I like. I at least like to have that as something that we can work with. But for me, it's always the same metrics that we always look at. So we always look at teamwork, we always look at work rate, always look at determination, and we always look at stamina. Okay, that's what we want. We want players who are gonna basically sweat and bleed for the shirt. That's what we want. 90 minutes worth of effort is what we want. Working for the team, basically trying to be as good as they can be. Like, I want desire to overcompensate for any lack of ability that these players might have, irrespective of what division we get into, right? If we end up in a Champions League, I want players who might be elite, but I want players who still want to work harder than the players who are the elite, if that makes sense. You know? Jump reach is super important for corners. We all know, love a front post corner. Yeah, even just a flick on, or getting like the header, and then we have someone who can then follow up, get the poacher just to sort of like tap it in. No need to compromise now. You don't need to buy people who are near perfect. Where's the hexagons? That's the DNA hexagons. That's the attribute analysis. You want Mick McCarthy? He put a shift in. Yeah, exactly. Aerial, speed, physical, defending, mental. That's all you want it to be. Just be the guy who sits in front of the defence, essentially. Yes, we want him better tackling if we're going to play him as a ball-winning midfielder, right? But we don't want him to be tackling. We want interceptions, remember. We want to be able to force errors and pick those interceptions off and then recycle the ball. That's how we want to play. That's how we've been playing when we were at Oxford, when we were at Huddersfield. It's that interception attribute that we look for, or the statistic we look for, which obviously comes from anticipation. Even Timmy G, how are you, buddy? What happened at Huddersfield? Well, See what happened to Huddersfield. Timmy, we got promoted. We finished second because we bottled it on the final day of the season. We took Colchester to the last day. We beat Colchester on the penultimate match of the season. We beat them 1-0. And then that meant that we had 2 points to make up on the last day. They had to go to Swindon and lose. We had to beat West Brom at home. Swindon beat Colchester 1-0. We threw everything, literally everything, at West Brom. And then we went with 2 defenders because we had to get a goal. The second we went to 2 defenders, West Brom had their first shot and scored. And we were like, 2 minutes to go as well. It was just like sucker punched. Absolute sucker punched. But we still got promoted, so it was fine. Then we looked around and thought, right, what's the options in the Championship? Huddersfield were going to give us £1.7 million to spend. Crystal Palace are going to give us £36 million to spend. So here we are at Crystal Palace. Seems an obvious choice to move. So Militao, I like Militao. I think he's pretty decent. Is he the right guy? I don't know, but we'll see. Right? We've had a look at White. We've had a look at Camp. We've had a look at Tok. Preto is a player that's on loan, so we're not going to get him back because that's how loans are working these days. Armada, we can let him go. 33 years old at 57 grand. No, thank you. Armada can leave. Oh yeah, and then we ate a trifle for an hour. That's a good point. Actually, I'd almost forgotten about that because that just happens. That's just a thing. Aaron Christopher Antonsen. Now here's the opposite of Militao. Right, Militao is all about jumping. This guy's not. But look at that determination. 20, anticipation 14, bravery 17, decision making 15, passing and vision 15 and 16. The only issue I've got here, this work rate's super low. And for me, I'm wondering whether that stops him being a really, really good DLP. Like, I think he can be something. But, I mean, he's wanted by Rangers, he's wanted by Atletico Madrid, Sevilla, Cagliari, Leeds. He's clearly going to be decent. His concentration's a little bit worrying. Like, but does him and Militao, does that make a thing? Can we get a better one? Is what we're going to look at. He's the comparison. If we can't get a better one, we've got one. But let's have a look. Because if those clubs are after him, we might be able to get some good cash coming in. Vision and passing, I mean, that's beautiful. That determination, that decision making, there's some nice attributes there. He is a Viking. He absolutely is a Viking. Sam Richards, wanted by Peterborough. Now he's an attacking midfield right. He's okay. He's fine. Acceleration, dribbling, first touch, passing, technique. Doesn't give a fuck. No work rate, no teamwork. Doesn't care. So he fails on a metric for me. He's a question mark. What did he do last season? Five appearances, 1 goal. Okay, that's pretty decent. 2 assists. Well, no assists in the league for Norwich the season before. 2 assists the season before that. I mean, for a winger, he's not getting assists. That's worrying. Evening Rada, how are you? Welcome. It's been a while, hasn't it? Hope you're good. This guy, I think, is better. Kiribul Samuel. He wants to leave. Of course he does, but I think he's the first choice. How's the challenge? Challenge is going well. Tomorrow's Rada. We're up to 9 trophies now, which is incredible. We were stuck on 8 for what felt like forever, but we're on 9 now. We just moved to Crystal Palace, so we're doing our sort of pre-season transfer recruitment, we'll go through staff, we'll go through tactics. We might get to the point when we play a friendly match, possibly. Who knows? So that's something we might look forward to tonight. So we'll see. We'll see. Alan Owen, 20 for flair. My eyes are already jumping there. 16 first touch, vision and passing 15 and 16. Off the ball 16. No way do we get to a friendly. Probably not. Probably not. I mean, is he the DLP? Again, he's just lacking a little bit, isn't he? He's just lacking a little bit. CMA, I reckon. Friendly against East Fife or Huddersfield. Maybe. Samuel, we know about Owen. Vismara, obviously, is going to be going as well. Gumbau. Arnal Gumbau. What is he? 6'3" winger. Hey, here we go. First choice. Set up the fake pre-season pizza cup. Yeah, local pizza cup we can call it. Won by QPR and Sunderland. I think we keep this guy. Runs down the left, looks for the pass, knocks the ball past opponents, runs with the ball. Yeah, pretty good. 8 goals, 4 assists last season, 7.19. He stays. Caleb. Another striker. Sorry, not to say another striker. Another Brazilian is what I should probably say. DLF. Wants to leave. 8 goals in 21 games. 4 assists. Could play as AP. Passing, teamwork, vision, maybe not so good. Off the ball, very, very good. Composure, very, very good. Blimey, what have I missed? Hello, Wilco. Welcome. You missed final day of the season drama at Huddersfield. We got to the final match of the season, and we should have beaten Colchester to the title. We beat Colchester on the penultimate day of the season. They lost to Swindon. We lost to West Brom. We came up to second place. We were offered £1.7 million to stay at Huddersfield. Crystal Palace have offered us 36 million. So we've left and we've come here. Sutcliffe can go. Lloyd Mahoney. I think he goes back into the reserves, really, doesn't he? Stick him back in there. He's not good enough either. Isa Precious. He's going to be leaving. That's fine. Nakagura. He's our centre forward. Nagakura. Centre forward. Dribbling 16. First touch 15. Free kick taken 16. Flair 16. Off the ball 16. Teamwork 18. Oh, he loves it. He's 5'4". Oh, if we could partner him with how tall's Caleb? Caleb, 6'2". It's beautiful. Oh, if Crystal Palace was managed by Peter Reid, we've got it right now. And then Mambenda. Who remembers Mambenda from Huddersfield? Is now the time to get this lad working. The Japanese Messi. They're saying that Mambenda is 3.5 stars in this team. I mean, he didn't work for us at Huddersfield. Is there any chance he's sort of like a decent Premiership player? Could he be the guy who plays out wide then? Because we were trying to play him up front, weren't we? At Huddersfield. Celta Vigo want him. 19 million quid. Tom Hyde, 23 years old. Wanted by a lot of teams. Right, okay. So, first things first. The Mambenda redemption. Right, what are we doing about Militao? I like the look of Militao. I'd be happy to see him stay. I don't really want Ronaldo Brewster. Do I? Maybe it was your tactic rather than the player. Maybe Barton. Yeah, maybe he was in the wrong. He was in the wrong area. Do we want this guy, Ronaldo Brewster, as part of the Militao deal? I don't think we do we? Really? He doesn't seem like someone I'd be particularly interested in. Oversmarma's actually joining. Right. £14 million up front, and then 3 payments of 5 million. Oh no, it's 5 million over three months, and 5 million after 50 games. 19 million. Ah, fuck off. No chance. He's staying. He's staying. He's not. And you know what? Robert Smith's not going anywhere either. Right, we're here now. We're making things happen, okay? Right. So that's the players sorted. Let's have a look and see what we look like in terms of comparison with the rest of the league, shall we? So 20th in terms of age, so one of the youngest squads. 25.53, that's the average age. Average height is over 6 foot. Pretty heavy. Thick boys. Highest international youth caps. 5th highest wage budget. Highest level of unavailable players. Well, we'll see about that. We can maybe change that. Decision making's pretty high. First touch is decent. Passing's reasonable. Strongest squad in the league. Work rate needs to be improved. Teamwork's good. Work rate's the one. Leadership we need to improve as well. And aggression. Okay. Goalkeeper. I'm not even going to look at goalkeepers because we know the goalkeepers are bad. Defence, we look pretty decent. Again, I'm going to make a note on this as well. Tackling and heading is probably what we need to look at. Heading, we've got the best, was third best jumpers in the league. Marking was 6th. Positioning's good. Strength is good. Pace is good. Acceleration's good. So yeah, just get some tacklers in there and some people who can head. Yeah, it becomes even more noticeable when you take other players off. But look at that, strength, pace and acceleration just from the centre halves and marking for the defenders. It's pretty decent. midfielders. No long shots. Good passes of the ball. We're not shooting from distance. Vision maybe needs to be better. Definitely stamina. Teamwork again, which we know is an overall thing. Tackling needs improving as well. So the midfield needs an overhaul, to be honest. Long shots means work the ball in the box, absolutely. Good technique, good decision making. So again, that could work hand in hand there. If we go work the ball in the box, as long as the decision making's good, the passing's good, vision's okay. They can maybe see the right pass just about, but that might make sense. Up front, finishing. Still long shots not brilliant. Heading needs to be improved. It's fine, we can play the ball on the floor. Jumping reach isn't brilliant. Anticipation. Good off the ball though. And we need a bit of acceleration up front. Okay. Let's look at the physical side of things. Physicals need a bit more balance. Third acceleration in the league, second agility, sixth for balance, third for jumping reach, highest fitness. Excellent. Sebastian, welcome and appreciate the follow back. We're very kind. Indeed, pace is good, stamina is very good, strength is very good. That's what we're looking for. Mentals. Again, let's take goalkeepers out of this because they're not really going to count. Aggression overall maybe needs to be up to smidge. That might come with work rate and teamwork. Reasonable anticipation. Very brave. Very determined. Composure. Concentration's reasonable. Decisions is fine. Flair. Leadership. Off the ball. Off the ball's very low, despite the fact our forwards are very, very good at it. Good positioning. Good teamwork, apparently, despite the fact that we need teamwork. Vision, work rate's the one we need to be upping, and technical skills, finishing, free kick taking, everything else. Look, on paper we're a top half team easily. CG players, welcome in, appreciate the sub, very kind through the prime, very kind indeed. I think we've got a decent squad here, to be honest. So out of what we've got, what are we thinking formation-wise then? If I start working backwards, I've got Nakagura and Caleb. That's two strikers. Big man, little man. I've got three across the midfield. I've got Gumbau, I've got Samuel, and who else have I got there? I've got Mambender, I suppose, possibly. Or Batala. Batala, another striker. I've completely forgotten, actually. Who was pretty much the striker. 13 goals, 13 starts, 21 substitute appearances. Trequartista. Do we now play with three strikers? Could be a complete forward. So could we have Nagakura, Batala, and then have Caleb just behind, two out wide, so we've essentially got five up top. Let's try and build this out. So it would sort of look like, I'm worried this is going to be far too. Yeah, this is going to be ridiculous. This isn't going to really work in that way. unless they run into there in that position. Nagakura, let's put him there. Keepers and commanding midfield will take charge. And Batalla can play midfield as well, can he? Plays with his back to goal. I mean, that's another player who plays with his back to goal. Caleb plays with his back to goal. Star player. Plenty of vision, passing anticipation. This sounds a lot like we've got. Go with the Linfield tactic. Well, Linfield was just literally a plug and play 4-2-3-1 gegenpress. We didn't change anything with it. We just went straight in and went, that'll do. But I feel like we've got Caleb and Nakagura. We've definitely got to play. And they're both strikers. So we have to play them two. If we then put Gumbao out wide, and we have do we play Manbender out on the right? So he goes as a winger on support. He goes as a winger on attack. Play one as a shadow striker. I mean, we could put Kalebe there, have him doing that. Then that essentially makes us the 4-2-3-1. Or maybe even that. Like what's he got? Tries killer balls often. Likes to round the goalkeeper. Plays 1-2s. So is there any chance he plays there and just like dinks around to create the space and gets in to help support Nagakura, who moves in the channels? Right, okay, so what's that? That's a pressing forward, right? Oh, advanced forward moves in the channels. That's fine. Okay. It's a 4-2-3. It's a fucking 4-2-3-1. Oh dear. Oh dear, oh dear. Oh dear, oh dear. Who did we have as the DLP? Antonsen, wasn't it? We changed it into a DLP. We had Militao as a halfback. His finishing is probably much better in the air than as a striker. Who, Nagakura? No, Caleb. Caleb's finishing's worse. Yeah. And then going back down the... Where's Batalla? Batalla, the guy that scored all the goals, we've just left out. Do we stick him up front and bring... How's about we do that? Play Nakagura out wide. Have him as an inside forward. So he comes in there. Comes deep to collect the ball. Cuts inside from both wings. Yeah. Gets further forward, runs position. Takes more risks, cuts less often, dribbles inside, gets further forward. That could work. What foot is Gumbao? Left. Very left-footed. Runs with the ball down the left. Nakagura is very right-footed. Play the wingers as inverted, and the Mazzalas on attack to get them out on the wings. But then we've got no... But if we have that, then if we have them both as Mazzalas, then we don't get anything. Like, let's just see what we've got in terms of... So if we've got Mbenda on the on the bench. I mean, he could be the guy who comes in. Like, he could change everything up. I mean, plays with back to goal again. They all like playing with their back to goal. Maybe we just play him as a target man. Is this a strikerless team? Like, do you know what I mean? Like, I feel like I could almost do it as strikerless here. Parsons, what foot's Parsons? Parsons is left-footed, so he's got to go there. Battaglia has a complete forward on attack. Yeah, probably. 2 left-footed centre-backs. Complete forward. May want a DLP. Yeah, we're going to get there in a second, so shouldn't have mentioned dark arts. I've given TJ ideas. I mean, I'm not fully convinced that we haven't gone down that route yet, Raggio, but maybe. And the question now is, do we go with Sam Jones or do we go with Tok? Actually, Tok could maybe go right back for now. Jones. Is Tok better than our other right backs? War Dogs. So, as a relatively crap FM journeyman player, explain to me why you jumped from a team when you just got promoted to another one on the same league. Right. So, the way we're playing this save is it's slightly different to a normal journeyman. By the way, so the plan in this save is that you have to win the you have to tick all these trophies off. By the way, right? So you have to tick off each of the leagues. So what happened is, normally I would be like yourself. I would keep playing those as that team, look to develop that squad a little bit more and try and sort of like push on. What we've got this season is we have to look at what can we do. So we've been at Huddersfield for only 18 months, to be honest, really. Got ourselves promoted. What are we going to do? Evening, Gary Miller, how are you, pal? Welcome in. Are we more likely to win something with Crystal Palace than Huddersfield? And that's how we have to look at it. Now, Huddersfield, I think, was fun. We were enjoying ourselves there. But are Crystal Palace in a better position to win the championship than Huddersfield? Quite possibly. They finished in the semi-finals of the Carabao Cup last season. Granted, we might not do that this season, but they did this season. And they finished in the quarterfinals of the FA Cup. So they've got a better pedigree already than Huddersfield have last season. So, on that basis, with a hell of a lot more cash, I took the gamble that, you know what, it was probably a better idea going to Crystal Palace at this point. Promoted in 18 months, a stonking job, well done. To be fair, we should have been promoted the season before. We should have at least gone in the playoffs the season before. We missed out on the final day. We'd only been there a few months. I thought, right, let's see how we can get on. But sadly, it wasn't meant to be. Last season, we should have won the title. We were a much better side than sometimes the results suggested. But here we are. Evening One Club champ as well, by the way, man. Nice to have you in. Hope you're good. Part of me's worrying, do we take Battaglia out? Do we give Man Bender the run and tell him that he is... Do we tell him he's the guy? But Battaglia scored all the goals last season. All the goals. 15 goals, 11 from Caleb, 9 from Nakagura, 9 from Gumbau, Mambenda barely even played. He was on loan at Hibs. He still got 6 for Huddersfield, mind. That makes sense. I was doing something wrong. Thought I was doing something wrong. No, not at all. Like, and to be fair, there's never any sort of like rationale for playing the game wrong. It's always, play it how you see fit. But in this sort of way of managing, you've got to look to team hop, and I don't like it. I'm very much a person of like, normally I would stay somewhere for as long as I can and look to build that team up and then move. Whereas in this save, you kind of have to be like, right, where do we go? How do we get there? How quickly can we move on? Sometimes you've got to start looking at teams you maybe wouldn't want to go to. There's definitely some teams that we're still not going to go to that will, of course, turn up at some point. But yeah, it's all right. We'll cross those bridges when we get to them. So we'll see how we get on. But yeah, hopefully we should be okay. We don't look for a goalkeeper, so let's quickly have a nudge at. We saw one last season that looked quite interesting, but let's just have a quick little check of the player stats. See what the goalkeepers were like last season in the division. 200 parts of Prem with South Shields and FM24. What teams are you adamant you won't go to? I'm not going to Newcastle. I'm not going to Liverpool. I'm not going to Rangers. That's where we are. MK Dons, because they're not real, but most other clubs will go to. Or anyone that's got like really shit, awful owners. The reason behind them, Newcastle is the owners and that, but mainly the owners. Liverpool, because Liverpool, innit? It's just, if we have to manage a team on Merseyside, it would be Everton, like, because at least they are quiet. Rangers, because my family are Celtic fans. We've already done our bit for Rangers by managing Linfield, and I felt really bad about it. Why would you go to Man United? Because I don't really care. It's just a video game. That's the thing. I probably wouldn't go to Man City. I probably wouldn't go to Man United. I'd prefer to win stuff without having to go to those clubs. I'm aware we've got to go to those clubs eventually, or win the titles eventually. I'd like to think that by the time we got there, that the leagues had changed and some of those teams weren't there, and we could just win it with our own team, to be honest. But in the event of having to get to that point, then we'll see what happens. Yeah, I mean, you guys can hate whoever you want to hate. You guys can it's completely fine, But it's my save. I'll do it how I want, and that's Football Manager, innit? Play how you want to play. But yeah, for me, there's just certain teams that I won't be playing on the save at any point, to be honest. So, but yeah, you go nuts. You go nuts. Play however you want to play it. But there's a guy in last night who's like trying to get. We've just been promoted from League One, and he was trying to tell us to go back to Vanarama National. And I was like, we've already won that. He's like, oh, Halifax would be great. I was like, yeah. Only team I'd avoid is Sheffield United. Have you played as Reims? Not in the British Steel Challenge, no, Grover. They're a bit too French for the challenge that we're currently playing. Also haven't managed them before historically either. So I was at Clermont Foot a few years ago. That was really good fun in the second division. Refused to take jobs in Russia and Belarus. Well, obviously, the shirt in the middle is Odd Ball Club. Norwegian team. They used to be called Odd Grenland back in the day. Tommy Svindal Larsen's team. We had a bit of a link up with them last year, so they very kindly sent me a whole bunch of gear, and we've got our own official Jameson Odd shirt. Got me a coffee cup here as well, actually, which is quite nice as well. And then they sent shirts for the kids, and yeah, they were top. They were top. Esports hoodie and that and everything. You could have stopped it a bit French. Yeah, for a British Steel Challenge, definitely. Matt Brown. Get the scouts on him for now, because in terms of what we're on here, saves tipped per 90 minutes. I wanted saves. Saves parried. Clean sheets. Oh, they've got a cracking manager. Yeah, they have. Paco's brilliant. I think they've really started to like find their way with him. I remember speaking to Ropper when he was being announced, and they were just like, "Yeah, we're really excited about him." He's the former Norwegian women's manager. You could have stopped at the channel and not bothered about mentioning what's on the other side. I got confused. I maybe missed what you've mentioned there, but clean sheets. All the goalkeepers are all over 30 in the championship. Anthony Pato, 35. We can't bring him back at 35. Too old. Matt Brown, 35. I mean, Matt Brown keeps popping up. He's in the top 10 for everything. Right, he's maybe an option. Let's have a little look and see. Yeah, no worries, Gary. Pleasure seeing you, man. Appreciate the raid. Very kind. James Trafford. See, again, I'm trying to sort of avoid a lot of the players that would have been signed normally. We might have to go there, but they're not my initial go-tos at the minute. We might have to strap yourself in, Wilco, and some chat as well. We might have to go abroad. Oh, right. I'm just saying. We've got money that you know is currently in the bank, just bubbling up. There's maybe a thing where it's like maybe we have to spend some of it. Gražic, I think Grajic's a bit old now. Actually, we obviously had a decent relationship with Gražic. You and Bowen. Right. Well, what have we written down as the key positions? It's goalkeeper, innit? Right. Right. I'll tell you what. Let's get the scouts on as a recruitment focus. Create recruitment focus. Goalkeeper. Top priority. Minimum current ability's got to be 2. Minimum potential's got to be 3, surely. Get in there. Who they got? Christopher Klassen. Is he 34 now? I know. Here I am saying I don't want to go in for old players, but and I was also saying I don't want to be going for players that I'm not exactly shouldn't always be going for. But look at Daniel Rachel. I mean, that would be a horrible way to sort of be like, right, I've gone from Huddersfield and now I'm going to take your best goalkeeper. That'd be horrible, wouldn't it? Got the Japanese Messi, let's get the Japanese Schmeichel. That's the thing, Klassen could come in as a backup. That's a good point, actually. What is the director of football suggesting? Dare we even ask? Lavelle again. 32, 54 grand. Evoelectric. I've played FM for a while. Know the basics. I want to start an official long-term save. However, I want to start at the club I support. Chelsea. I know it's a big start. Should I start with the National Sea or just use the Continental Pro? So this is all kind of like an inbuilt difficulty setting, I suppose, really. Because you could make it super difficult for yourself by being 0 coaching badges. I would probably, if I was going to manage in the top divisions, I would set it to league appropriate. So when you load your manager profile up, you've got the option to click badges equivalent to whoever you're managing. I just click there, otherwise you're going to get sacked in like 3 months. I mean, to be fair, that would be quite realistic for Chelsea anyway, but maybe do it that way. So at least you get a bit of play out of it. That's what I would do, personally. Like for this save, we started at the bottom. We started unemployed, so for us it was like literally 0 badges, 0 experience. Just whoever's about, like, try and get that job. He looks all right. One size Ben Hall. 71 goals conceded. Oh, he was in the championship, wasn't he? That's the thing. 30 tips, 73 parries, 50 shots held, actually. 3 months, that's the James Smith. 3 streams, if it's top division, isn't it? 3 streams. We don't tend to stay too long in the top divisions. Sylvester Paisley. What a name. What a name. What a name. Rushing out, far too high. Far too high. Although, to be honest, rushing out's fine because eccentricity is actually quite low, so that would work as a sweeper keeper. He may be an option. Emmanuel Mazzola. Looks interesting. These are loanees at this point. Verratti. Anyone who's no, right? No, don't take the piss here, right? But no. Right back we needed as well, didn't we? No right backs apparently. No DMs. No AMs. There was a lot of shortlisted yesterday, when we took the job, and I looked at him, and I'm sure Man United are interested in him, and Norwich, and I was like, we don't know enough about him, but I'm sort of like, do we maybe jump? It was this guy, wasn't it? Michael Cook, 1.6 million quid, right? Australian, 6'2". Commanding of area is very, very good. Communication's very, very good. One-on-ones could be okay. His handling doesn't look brilliant. His kicking doesn't look brilliant. His reflexes are good. His throwing's decent. Decision-making, concentration, all very high. Stamina, positioning, work rate. Wanted by Man United, Norwich and Celta Vigo. 1.6. Do we look at that and think he could be the backup? At the very least. Both footed. Strong and very strong. Rushing out's quite low. Well, I've got the scouts on him, but then there's also a bid in at the minute by Norwich. So do I put the bid in just to we've got the money. Do I put the bid in just to kind of slow things down a bit as well? And be like, right, hey, I know Norwich are kind of a big deal, but, you know, have you considered Crystal Palace? You know? Because, I mean, Klassen's very, very good, but, as I say, 34, he could be. Norwich again want him. Matt Brown's at Norwich. We're scouting him. He could be pretty good. Bid you can always cancel. That's the thing. You know, we're looking at Matt Brown from Norwich. Ikrami actually was a decent enough goalkeeper at Chelsea. Withdraw if we change our mind. Yeah. Actually, we might need to tidy up some of this shortlisting. Is he first choice now? Because that's the thing. I was wondering whether or not they'd move him to first choice. Ramsdale's 37. I guess when you pay 23 million quid, he is going to be the first choice goalkeeper, so. Right. And Barla, let's remove him because we're not going to be looking at him for the next season, are we? Johnny Alonso, probably not really good enough for us now. Sam Long isn't one of ours. There's Grajic at Stoke, 32. He's not He's not playing. That's the issue, I guess, really. Schneller. It's 33. Kaiserslautern, which I know is not that old in goalkeeper terms. Bradic at TNS. Probably not good enough for this level of the championship. Pierce Charles. He's at Coleraine, so take him off. There's the caddy. He's just not. He's not good enough now, is he? Sligo Rovers. He's not what we need. But he just overperformed so much. It was amazing to see. I still don't even know, like, how did we end up with him? Was he a recommendation from the director of football? It feels like that. It was one of those ones where they definitely got it right. Take Callum Yam off as well. He's on an amateur deal, so we don't need him. Remove that. Johnny Madhead. He's coming off the shortlist. I just can't. Not again. We've already been down the Johnny Madhead road. Kind of Dysart's going to have to come off as well. Right, so they're all reasonable goalkeepers that we could look at. I guess Ben Hall gets the scouting treatment. Right backs. Right back's another area we want to be looking at, isn't it? St Mirren players. St Mirren went through a period of being very, very good in Scotland, so Ethan Laird, too old. He's now gone to Western United FC, wherever that is. Kevin Esperance. He's just gone. Azona Luca. Not good enough really for us. Sorry if I'm just skipping through these fairly quickly for everyone. Trey Bamford. Coventry plays decent. Evening GY. Oh, hello Gareth. How are you, buddy? Welcome in. Pleasure to see you. If you've not followed GY, by the way, go and do so. He does all manner of tactics. If you've seen a tactic, it's probably one of his, to be honest. But yeah, go and check him out. Show him all the love in the world. He's a wonderful, wonderful person. So definitely make sure you go and drop him a follow. Can't be beaten. Tactic is goated. There you go. So I had to read that slowly. It was just like need to make sure I say it properly. But yeah, no, like go and drop G some love. But yeah, hope you're well, man. Hope you're well. Hope the family are good. Hope life's treating you good. Pleasure having you in, just hanging out with us. We're just going through the bit that I enjoy, the bit I think that people get into, the pre-season, just sitting down, getting the notepads out, going through, going right, what are we going to do next season? Like, and your bit, getting the tactics sorted. How are we going to play? What do we want this football to look like for next season? And I feel like we're going to end up with a 4-2-3-1 this year, Gareth, and it's going to be very un-Tony, very un-Tony. Unless I can make it more interesting. I'm going to scout that guy actually, because I remember him from Oxford. Well, from when we played against Oxford actually, because he joined after we left. Not sure you like my 4-4-2 long ball direct to a target man tactic. Hey, all tactics are basically 4-4-2, essentially one club champ, and I think that's for me is the best tactic. That's the best tactic. Asymmetric one like PvP. No, to be honest though, right, Gareth, this is the thing. You'll understand this bit, right? I've been saying to the chat quite a bit, like, I'm quite enjoying trying quote unquote new stuff out really this year, right? Ignore this bit, right? That's not what we're doing now, right? Okay, but the asymmetric stuff, I know that'll work again in the match engine, so I'm trying not to do that sort of stuff. So what I've been doing is I've been playing this, which has been really nice, to be honest, and it's been giving me a lot of excitement and some good results. Could change that to like a wide playmaker, for example. That could be a winger on attack, and that's been working for me nicely. You know, doing that. In fact, change him to a halfback as well, actually. So yeah, some of the roles mixing up a bit. That's been really good for me. Really enjoyed it. This guy has been popping in, weighing up with some goals. These guys are making some nice fun down here. He gets up and around, does that. You know, that for me has been great. Popping a defensive midfielder in here who can play wing back, just bombs forward. That's really good fun. Exactly, defensively solid, build up play, build up options are great. And that's sort of how we've been playing, high line but dropping back so that these guys are picking up all the mess that's coming through, and then the Volante is having some fun. This one we've got some more attack-minded players, we've got some better players as well, which also helps. Some more technically gifted players. So now we're trying to think, right, okay, how do we actually get the best out of good players? And this is where we're gonna work out what happens. You know. Right, you've got to drop back to the halfback here. In fact, he's in the DLP this side. In fact, he might be more of a ball-winning midfielder on defend this time. But yeah, trying to get back into a 4-2-3-1 gegenpress. It's very un-me. It's very un-me, but we'll see. We'll see what we can come up with. We've just done it. We've just done a tactic there. What's that? 1 hour 34. We've clicked continue. Is that a record? That could be a record. It could be a record. Actually, we shouldn't have even clicked continue, because look, we haven't even gone to staff yet. Has the playlist ran out yet? No, it hasn't. This is still happening. Right. Gotta get this admin done, GWR. Gotta get it, even though we're only here for like 1 season, 2 seasons, or whatever. Gotta get it locked in. Make sure that we're doing things properly. So it looks like we need a goalkeeping coach, which is fine because we ain't got no goalkeepers. This is why we're not getting to the friendly. Yeah, you're probably right. Scratch. Who wants to see friendly? Nobody. We can't play a friendly because we haven't got a goalkeeper. That's the thing, right? Until we get a goalkeeper, there's no point doing friendlies. Paul Krager is our assistant manager. He's been here a while. 4-2-3-1 manager. He likes his wing play. We like our wing play. We could get the ball out to the wings. Put the fastest lad in goal. Or the fattest lad. The fastest lad. Yeah. We could do with a little bit more attacking. We could do a bit more mentality. What is it we're lacking in terms of our overall? We're lacking work rate. We're lacking aggression. Defenders are lacking tackling and heading. Midfielders, stamina, tackling, vision. Forwards, heading, finishing, acceleration. Overall aggression and composure. Got any wagon wheels with? I think the wagon wheels are... Yeah, we have wagon wheels. Hey, you're in luck. We've got a wagon wheel. Still got a wagon wheel. Never go into battle unarmed, right? I should say as well, but I saw the Mario movie today. Took the littlest one. It's fine. There's my one-word film review. That's fine. Well, 2-word film review. It's all right. Not a gold bar in sight. I've eaten them all. A15. Literally, they can't be in the house. I ate them too quick. I was just like, Mrs. J is like, did you all the gold bars go? They did. Yeah. There's a burglary. I think Ben Smalley might go. Right, we can maybe get a better fitness coach than him. Is that what he's doing? He's doing fitness, isn't he? 3 out of 7 coaches. Is that all we've got? Right. A fitness coach, and then, you know what? Let's just advertise for them all if that's what we can have. A 4 out of 4 performance analysts. Stefano Ferrica. He looks decent. Attacking, defending coach. There we go. Ben Smalley looks a bit crap though. We maybe need to get rid of him. Uche Kolo. Kieran Downer, Douglas Wright, Tom Johnson. These, as long as they're analysing data, that's good. A 4-year-old had me a sharing pack of Starburst at 10:30. By the time the call ended at 11, I was out of Starburst. It happens though, doesn't it? It absolutely happens. Dougie Friedman, director of football, he's going nowhere. He has to stay. 7 out of 8 scouts. Kevin Gallen, Jamie Scowcroft. He looks a bit rubbish. Rob Weaver looks good. McNeil looks okay. Pat Ryan looks fine. Waldron looks good. Jay Bartram's alright. I think there's a couple of jobs for the boys in here. Just Jamie Scowcroft getting himself in there, just like, oh, I can do a job. Like, I don't think you can, Teddy Bear. Like, you know, let's get that scan. Let's get a technical manager in as well. Actually, let's do the whole lot. You know, Kevin Gallen is an absolute blast from the past, and we need some better physios because 17, 14, 20. 16. All right, maybe we don't then. Sports science. Cedric Leduc. Elliot Webber. Oh, he's not great, is he? Get on a sports scientist in there. Head of sports science is the problem. He's not very good. Now head physio is all right. Right, so behind the scenes then, we're okay. Players are currently unhappy. We're aware of this. All the players we want to be using are unhappy. Meeting. Let's get the meeting in. Hello, everybody. Oh, we're not talking about captaincies just yet. Get the training in. He's not getting any stronger, is he? Language courses are fine. Kevin Gallen, the £1 million Arsenal player who never got there. Really? Didn't know about that. Oh, should we go back and take some staff from Huddersfield? Mokwena. He could be good, actually. This guy looks good as well. Jenkins, he's got what we need. 19, 17, 18. Get him in. $75,000, just pay it. All the money. Lewis Craig from Huddersfield. Yeah, you know what? let's go back and take some of our old coaches, actually. Connor Donnelly, technical director. That's a lot. I think that's good. Maybe. Seems to be some 20s in there. That's fine. He's a 4.5-star recruitment analyst. And he comes in as well then. Andy McBride. Reasonable. Gareth Collins. 18 for sports science. Motivating people management. Is people management a decent attribute you need, or schedule those? Let's. Spencer Cooper. Lonergan. Right, so can we shortlist these guys, maybe? They're only 2 stars, but stars don't mean anything to the staff at the end of the day. What was that? What are we playing at? Tony Jameson of all people? I mean, hey. I mean, they're probably right. They probably are right, but still. Jameson out already. Bet they're not saying that at East 5, are they? They're probably sat there going, whew. Dodged a bullet there. You do put yourself about. I mean, I think it's more about the fact that they don't want me rather than, you know. Sunderland are in for Michael Cook as well now. Jefferson Phillip. Important player. Yeah, that's fine. Who needs a game played? Nobody. Nobody does. Nobody does. Games just slow us down. We've clicked continue 3 times here, so that's more than enough. Coventry assigned as a precious. That's fine. There was a player at Coventry that I quite liked. It was Leighton Lussey, wasn't it? I need to remember now that we actually have better players. We'd lose those games anyway. More than likely. More than likely. Games are just the annoying bits between pre-season. Yeah. Continue putting us over it. We're not here for FM content, not what the stream is about. Not at all. If anything, it absolutely gets in the way, doesn't it? Over your career, you've been well known for a distinctive brand of football. That's right. TJ Ball. Do you think it'll be a good fit for your new team? I hope so. In leaving your previous job to take over Palace, you have disappointed a number of Huddersfield supporters. I mean, well, you know. Crystal Palace has been on a general downward curve for a little while. Can you get them moving in the right direction? Yeah, sure, why not? Will you be going back to your old club to bring in some of your former colleagues? Yes, we will do. We've already been talking about that, to be honest. While pros are training, we will get someone else to download it for us. Was there something about Crystal Palace that made you want to join? Yeah. What do you think of Palace? It's good. We're all very happy. It's nice to see so many people in the media here. Ball is allowed to invest £24 million. Must avoid making losses more than £15 million over a 4-season period. That's fine. We've only ever ended up in a transfer embargo once, so I imagine that's probably fine. I imagine. Please bring us goalkeepers. Bring us goalkeepers. Oh, this lad as well. What do we think? Is he reasonable for a backup? Or is he not one for us anymore? Peterborough want him and they've just been promoted to the Premiership. St Mirren want him. Nuremberg want him. Bochum. There's no top-level clubs, naturally. Empoli, Betis, Nice. £3 million. Is he worth a little nosy at? Got Kalinic, haven't we? Katanic, I think it is the. I think we've got 3. One of those I can't see where everyone wants them. What I like about him as a backup, I like his jumping reach, I like his determination, I like his work rate, his marking, his tackling. Actually, we need to nudge those figures up as well, don't we? Let's quickly jump there, because we are another division higher. So excellent attribute is what goes up to 14 to 15, I think. 13, averages 10. Let's see what he looks like now, because I'm thinking just a backup player. I'm not thinking anything more than a backup. Now he's not got a sea of green, has he? Let's leave him. Let's leave him for now. He might be one that we get further down the line, or someone else who sort of like comes back. Don't get signed back, so we should be improving the starting 11. Yeah, that's a fair assessment, to be honest. Especially, well, given the amount of money we've got at this point, we might as well be straight in to be like, right, let's try and get these players in. 50 grand for Michael Cook. He's on 32 at the minute. 50 grand. Big money, innit? Well, early signs suggest he's good. He's already better than nothing. So someone's going to give him the first choice jersey, and he's going to go in it. So better than nothing. Get him in, yeah. $36 days to sign a goalkeeper. That's what we've got. We've got 36 days to get a goalkeeper and a right back. Then we're in business. Two streams. What? 2 streams for what? For us to get to for us to actually get to the start of the game, yeah. Lewis Craig can come in as a coach. Is Lewis Craig better than what we've already got? Probably. Compare him to Fricciano. Do the mental side of things. Let's have a look at the staff, actually. I've got loads of space. Just get him anyway. Yeah. I had 13 days in Bosnia to sign a whole squad, failed miserably, only got 8. Is Buffon still in the game? I wouldn't imagine so. manager. I mean, well, okay, so technically, yes, he is still in the game. He's not interested in joining Crystal Palace. Lamptey. Still at Brighton, 34. Still there. The releases list is what I'm holding out for, to be honest. Scouting's for new coach. Is that it already, is it? It's already done. Tom Hyde has gone to Charlton. Newcastle get half of that. Excellent. Mike Jenkins joined as goalkeeping coach. Excellent. Lucas Schneller. Have we not just had a look at him? I think he's about 30 odd or something. 33. Yeah. Wanted by Holston Kell. I think we had him on the shortlist when we were at. I want to say Huddersfield, probably. Right, offer him out. Offer Jer White out. Who else are we offering out? Scully, he's leaving, isn't he? Felix can be offered out as well. Amada, get him offered as well. Try and actually just clean up some of the players that just aren't going to be there. Or we'll keep it from East 5. Caddy's at Sligo. He looks bad now. He looks bad now. Like, I think we definitely got the best. Definitely think we got the best. Offer all those who want to leave out. See, that's where I'm on the fence at the minute, Nige, because some of the players that want to leave are players that we want to keep. So I need to think about this a little bit. Abubakar, I think we just agree. Yeah, get that. Then we also get I just agree to them all. It's fine, we're not bothered about the extra money in the future. Armada, agree to that because he's already out of contract. Faisal Nuno, not one for us. So, players who are upset. Where do we find that's the dynamics, isn't it? Players who want to leave. Caleb. We kind of want to keep Caleb. Oh, now we've nudged things up. Ajon, he already is leaving, so that's fine. That's agreed. Nagakura, we want to keep. We've already had him marked down as wanting to keep. Samuel, we want to keep. And use him. Actually, we were saying use him maybe as the backup, is that right? He wasn't going to be the first choice. We could sell him. Mendes was the guy that was upset. Although Mendes is also a guy that a lot of people don't like. So, too many contrasting personalities. Several of the players are marked unhappy. Social groups, let's have a look. So who's the players that are not really invested? Diaz. So we've got professional, resolute, professional, determined. Light-hearted. perfectionists. I mean, some of these guys will go, of course, as well. Like, for example, Kurt Lick will leave, go back on to his parent club. Prieto will go back. Gumbau's fickle. That could be an issue, possibly. The fact that the two leaders of the team both want to leave isn't great. Elite Clarity, I fucking knew I knew the name Tony James when I heard the Athletic podcast earlier. 5 hours later, I've solved it. Oh, welcome, Elite Clarity. Nice to have you in, and thank you for the Prime as well. Very kind indeed. In fact, you know what? Link your Prime to Discord. Okay, come and join the Discord. You get yourself a nice little surprise channel in there where you can chat away to. As a little thank you to anyone who subscribes, there's a little bonus channel that is a private chat for getting access to save files and stuff, and you get to hear a few ideas sort of as they come out of my head, to be honest. But welcome. I'm glad you appreciate the podcast, and thank you for coming and finding us as well, by the way. And what's the scouting staff like? Do you have them scouting abroad for some bargains? Literally, we're going to get that sorted right now, Yaron. I've got them looking at goalkeepers right now. But we've been, as I said, we've essentially been in the job for 2 hours at this point, so we need to set that as well. I've not even started my wagon wheel, so it's now 5 to 11. So, okay, great focus. Strikers. Further details. Okay, so you have to sell the 2, yeah. Complete 4, let's get an advanced 4 actually. When's the pod back? Good question. We're on a slight hiatus at the minute. We're just trying to work a few bits and bobs out, to be honest. Give us a few weeks to sort it, and hopefully it should all be back up and running. But let's say a few weeks could turn into a little bit longer. It depends upon how things go, to be honest. Evening FM Wonder Kids, welcome. Hope you're well. 33 years old. There is Vanden Voort. Is he one of these Wonder Kids as well? Is he? Kicking's good. Handling's not brilliant, but he can kick the ball far, so that's good. But he has been playing for Man City quite a bit. 88 goals conceded, 111 games. Not last season though. Shame you couldn't record the FM live show. It's funny you should say that, because we did. I've been given the recording of it. I've not listened to it yet, but it is definitely there. And I know it's there because Jebaru sent it to me, so there is a copy of it. We did do it. Yeah, we definitely did sign it. We definitely did record it. There's lots of did in there, isn't there? So yes, it's definitely something that we're doing. So we'll have a little look at it, see if it's worth releasing, because obviously there's also some issues where sound bleed and stuff. We'll work out what's there and what's not. Alpine Challenge of the subscriber channel is my favourite for FM24. Oh, it sounds good, doesn't it? It does sound good. Set up the recruitment team. I mean, yeah, good. Get it done. I was in the car, finished the audiobook we're listening to. The wife wanted to listen to an FM, didn't want to listen to an FM podcast. No, I can't blame her, to be honest. I can't blame her. Mrs. J is not that bothered. She's just like, nah. It's not my interest, Tony. You do what you need to do, but fucking not for me. Not for me. I got enough of your nonsense all day. So, which is fine. Fabian Barrientos. That's essentially Frey Bentos, isn't it? It'll be a peripheral figure. 24 million. 21-year-old. He could be the guy. Enrique. Robert Hurt. What's the Alpine Challenge? Do you want to take over on this one, Nige? The Alpine Challenge while I'm busy. While I go and check myself for some goalkeepers here. But yeah, we're basically trying to work out what next season's save is going to look like, because we've enjoyed doing this in terms of like the British Steel, but it's then we've got turns out I've got no idea how to link my Prime to my Discord. I think there must be a way of linking it within Prime. I believe so, because that's all the people have done it. I don't know how you do it. I just know that's what you need to do. Or link Twitch, possibly. Clarity, if you've linked Twitch to Discord, maybe that should work as well. This guy is pretty decent as well, by the way. So Ben Hall, and I also like the Norwich goalkeeper. So let's compare him with, what was he called? South American journeyman next. Maybe, but the problem is that the thing with the South American side of things is that we would struggle attracting new viewers. Now, I'm not against that. I'm part of me's interested enough in keeping it a closed off shop, and we just sort of do our thing, but we do have to grow the channel. And there is a thing where getting a good South American save going is quite tricky. Like, it's not impossible, and I would like it. I would very much like it. Just have to try and work out how we do it. But the Alpine channel is basically, if we try and read it out now, it is it's on this spreadsheet here. Because yeah, Raggio basically went in and just sorted a whole load of stuff out and went, how about this? How about this? How about this? And I was just like, yeah. How about those? That sounds cool. Let's do that. So there it is. Where is it? I need to open Google Sheets, don't I? Go to Sheets, and then if I open it here. There we go. So, Alpine Challenge is Austria, France, Germany, Italy, Switzerland. 30 trophies in all, 19 leagues. So, that could be quite good. 11 cups. That's quite an interesting one. Eastern European Steel is 47. Things like Romania have 12 leagues. There's 12 tiers worth of Romanian football to try and get through. That sounds brutal. Absolutely brutal. Oh, look at that, Raggio. Modding away to glory. Making sure that our viewers get fixed up. Appreciate you, Raggio. That's why you're here doing the Lord's work. Were you pleased to see Nagakura scoring for his country? Yes, absolutely. Don't know. That's why I like the Alpine. It's well-known leagues and all good standard. 100%. And it's easy to get into. Austria, France, Germany, Italy, Switzerland. Like, if we could get to France and win without being Paris Saint-Germain, that would be great. Italy's always going to be fun. Serie C is really interesting because of the fact that it is three leagues or 4 leagues, I think. So you'd have to do all of the Serie C leagues. So that would be really, really good. Switzerland is fun. Germany's great. I love, like, Liga 3 is like so much fun. I guess then Eastern Mediterranean, we've got Croatia, Greece, Israel, Italy, Slovenia, Turkey. I think Israel's the outlier there. And again, the thing as well with Israel is that politically I could end up in I do try and sort of like steer outside of let's not go to places that are going to cause all kinds of problems. I think we'd have to like sort of tiptoe our way around that a little bit. But we could probably do it. There's definitely some right wing, some left wing clubs. I was nearly a bit of an about. There's definitely some right wing clubs there. There's definitely left wing clubs that we could lean into in that challenge. We could start at Clermont Foot, French national. That'll be fun. Siobhan Beckford. But yeah, Israel could be a tough one. Greece, I haven't managed him, but I like the idea of it. Croatia, I love. Turkey, I love Turkey. I'd be tempted to start in Turkey, actually, because Bursaspor are down in the 3rd division now. So I'd be tempted to start there. Chevron probably would come to Palace, but do we now look at Chevron, 28 years old? Is he giving us what we want? Because we've always looked at him and we just went, has he got enough? Has he got enough? Has he got enough? Like, what do we think? Now we can afford him. What do we think? That and all of this. This is the problem. That. Yeah, he's the thing, right? Like, he looked great when he first broke onto the scene. But then we went, he's never played football before, has he? He's never seen a football. But, you know, let him have fun. And there he is, out having fun. But yeah, I think the longer we go into the challenge, he's not really one for us at the minute. But we might go back at East Fife. Yes, exactly. East Fife would be great. You'd be worried if he's your first manager's new signing, which he could be. He could be. But you're right. Maybe not one for us. He'll run through a wall but forget to take the ball. Yeah, that's fair. Why is it we have more money than any of our past teams together and we can't find players? Just one of those scenarios, isn't it? I think there'll be a whole bunch of people that'll turn up and we'll be like, oh, where's everyone gone? You know, look, like, you know, we're starting to get things beefed up a little bit now. Staff starting to get there. Out of the starting players, we could argue that maybe that midfield, that central midfield, needs improving. Maybe centre forward needs improving. Right back needs improving. Let's have a little look then, shall we? Let's start nosying about and see what there is. Lavelle, they're saying, is still good. Klazen, they're saying, is great. Daniel Rachel, they're saying, is decent. Stanislas Zola from Bordeaux, 19-year-old winger. Raggio's not a fan of Bordeaux, so I can't imagine he'll be overly keen to find out how he develops. Jan Lendry from Augsburg. Fuck Bordeaux, yeah, quite. Bravery, agility, pace, no strength. Wanted by Lazio, Marseille, Atletico Madrid. I mean, he looks like he's going to be, according to our scouts so far and our players, he looks like he's going to be worse than Gumbau, which I'd be worried about. If you're not better than a player that we've already got in the Championship and you're wanted by Atletico Madrid and Lazio. But again, everything's all relative, isn't it? Z, currently a decent Championship player, could be a leading Championship player. 23 years old, Brazilian, fullback, 6'2". Acceleration, decision making's good, technique's good, crossing, dribbling's okay. We've got left backs, but he's a 23-year-old Brazilian left back who's free. Would he get a work permit? Top speed allows him to outpace players over longer sprints. That's good. Doesn't get stuck in. Inconsistent. Plays in a couple of positions. Could fit straight into the core group of the squad. Signs E. And he's happy enough being a squad player as well. Minimum fee release clause, 40 million quid. 9 grand. Get him in. Drew Ward, centre back. It's giving Newcastle money in it, so maybe we don't do that. 6'1". Sorry, 6'6", I should say, sorry. We'll wait until he's out of contract and take him for free. Freebie on low wages, get in the van. Get in the van. No goalkeeper in just yet. We are working on that. Alberto Scotta. Forward. Wanted by Fiorentina, Lazio, Udinese, Atletico Madrid. Basically, everyone's wanted by Lazio and Atletico Madrid at the minute. 10th in Bundesliga for expected goals. 10th in Bundesliga for penalties. 14th in Bundesliga for shots. Shots per 90 minute, 26th. What did he get in terms of his goals last season? 12 in 34, 15 in 36 overall. Atletico Madrid trying to sign everybody. They are, aren't they? Well, let's keep him for now. His acceleration's not brilliant, but he looks like he could be handy. Paciano looks decent by all accounts, but I'm not convinced. Not convinced. Zakim Murfet. Peter Gale. Not good enough. Iralda. Remember we tried to sign him for Huddersfield? Dylan Peterson. Stevenson, sorry. Myron Van Bredore. We can't even say his name. He's not coming. Roy Wilson, 29-year-old striker from Preston. Zach Lovelace. Mark Juju. Attempts overhead kicks. Let's get him in. Get him in. Ty Collison. Jumping reach is good. Finishing's decent enough. Callum McBride. 28-year-old attacking midfielder. Is he Premiership level though? That's what we need to look at, isn't it? 16 goals in the Championship last season. 16 goals. Only 2 of which were penalties. Season before, 14 goals in the league, 1 penalty. Season before, 9 goals. I mean, he seems to do decent. If you can't say his name, I'm not signing him. I think that should be the rule from the start. To be honest, Franco, it's a very, very easy rule. It's a very easy rule. You can't pronounce him, you shouldn't be signing him. Simple as that. I've got to try and call his name out in some sort of commentary. And the Dutch lad, goal. Femi Coquelin, 16 for dribbling, 16 for composure, 16 for acceleration, 17 goals, 14 the season before, 15 the season before that, 14 the season before. He's been at Aberdeen. Boo. That's Daniel Lewis. $2.9 million. Would he be interested in coming, do you reckon? Or can we get better players than that? Scott Jones, he's the lad that's leaving Brentford, isn't he? He's not going to be Paul Ward, Wardy. Oh dear. I feel like Wardy would end up scoring. In fact, actually, you know what? Would Wardy score with some assistance? I mean, he got 19 goals last season. He did score. Did score a lot. despite the fact he missed pretty much every shot he took. That's the interesting thing. He missed most of the chances he took. You know the Wayne Gretzky quote of you miss 100% of the shots you don't take. Lewis missed 99% of the shots he took, and somehow still ended up with 20 odd goals with 19 goals. So Daniel Carlson looks reasonable as well. 6'6", Swedish. Jumping reach 18, command of area is good. Reflexes, rushing out, throwing, handling's only 12. Won by Villa. Villa on a Premiership side, so maybe getting close to players being released as well, so we might be able to jump in on some of these young players. Owen O'Brien, they reckon go for it. What do we think? Do we link back up with Owen O'Brien? Highly reliable, who doesn't let opponents get past him. You'll never beat O'Brien. You'll never beat O'Brien. I mean, Linfield, Lille, Hoffenheim, Werder, Queen's Park Rangers. What a career he's had. And he's one of our own. We brought him through at Linfield. Do we need a centre half? He would be centre half number 4. He'd probably be. I mean, with that sort of wage, you'd want him to be playing a lot. He's wanted by Sheffield United, who are Premiership. QPR are Premiership. Compare him to the lads that we've got. So we've got Parsons, we think is probably going to be our main centre half. So Parsons better in the air, better technically, but O'Brien's better attacking, he's quicker, better vision, maybe not as physical, better defending, better mentally. Okay, he's only 5'10" as well. Heading ever so slightly worse, marking ever so slightly better, passing a little bit better, tackling much better, 16 to 13, technique not so great, aggression not as good, anticipation better, bravery a little bit worse, a little bit more composed, equal concentration, more determined, better positioning, not as much of a leader, better vision. So maybe he's a ball playing defender, which we haven't got. Work rate a little bit better, acceleration better, agility better, jumping reach not quite as good, pace better. I mean, it's a good partnership. This is a good partnership right now. Is he right-footed? I think he's left-footed from what I remember. No goals last season. Tackle completed is 81%. 87% pass completion. Looks like a central defender or box-to-box midfielder. He can play DM. Terrific signing. Meets the club's objectives. Good marking, good tackling, international experience. He could play the half-back role. He's only 5'10" though, so the ball might come over the top of him. That's the problem. His jumping reach isn't brilliant. His anticipation's very good though, so that would lend itself to that role. I mean, if we're gonna throw money around, we throw money around, right? What does he look like against Robert Smith? Smith better in the air, better mentally, but everything else O'Brien's better at. He could be, I mean, he's 24, so he's not going to learn too much off Smith. O'Brien's not going to learn too much off him. Plays on cover duty alongside Parsons as a stopper. Marking. Small fee, big annual payment is the way to go. Marquee signing. It's a very much way here, isn't it? And we've got 2 left-footed centre halves. I'd like a right-sided centre right footer in there as well. we've used him before. We've worked with him before. We're not resolute. That's good enough, isn't it? A bit small for a centre back, could be a DM. Well, this is the thing. Maybe he gives us options if we're not 100% convinced about Militao. Okay, let's compare this then. Right? Let's try and see what he looks like. So O'Brien is better attacking than Militao. He's maybe not as technical, he's maybe not as good in the air, but he's better at defending. Physicals and speed are pretty much identical. Vision's a little bit better and attacking's a bit better. So theoretically, he could do that job. His heading's better than Militao's, despite the fact that Militao's weight jumping reach is better. He's quicker. He's got better anticipation. He's more composed. He's got better concentration, better positioning, more determined. I think he's the one, isn't he? I think we go in for him. We'll have a look. We'll have a look at the new gens and see where he fits. Bring O'Brien. Doesn't want to sign for Palace, who would require getting promoted. Would be interested in a loan. I mean, let's see if we can make that happen, shall we? Actually, no. Let's try and actually get the deal done first of all. Right, I'm gonna try and buy him. 63 grand a week. It's quite a lot. It is quite a lot, but then I guess we're sort of like fairly far down the universe now. Like we're into 2035, so interest rates have gone up a bit. So maybe that's not actually that much now. Maybe that's only about like 30 grand these days. Let's have a look in the youth system then. So Lloyd Maloney we've just bumped down. Ibrahim Rualt. Reasonable wage. Reasonable, actually. Could become a star player. Could become as good as Caleb. First touch 16. Work rate 15. Determination 15. 20. Wanted by Forest. Let's have a look at him during the pre-season, shall we? Jefferson Phillip, we've got going out on loans. We know about that. Looking for a new gen to rename. Well, we'll see what we can do for you. Cantarini. Looks like he's out on loan. I'm on Salford. Where does he fit in the grand scheme of things? Good potential. Jesse Allen. David Lewis, striker who's out on loan. Stephen Preston apparently could be half decent. I'm just looking for anyone who could be a star player. That's what I'm thinking. They're all quality players apparently. Kieran Clark, actually, he could be fairly handy. He could be pretty handy indeed, actually. Working his composure a little bit more, he should be fine. This guy could become one of the club's best players. Right. So, Shaw Martin, Aaron Bailey, Ehioglu, McMorran, star player. Right. So these are the guys then. Yusuf Adebayo, 8 million quid, 15 years old. Shaw Martin. Yeah, what are we catching Shaw Martin in as? Give us a nickname. Hugo Jelly Deals he is. And look at him with his Croydon haircut as well. Okay, some interesting players there. Let's have a look actually at right backs. We haven't started that yet, have we? $32. 72 grand. Oof. Bungie, appreciate the follow. Very kind. Hope you're well. Just you've joined us as we're busy getting into it with our new club now. We're trying to settle into Crystal Palace, work out what we've got, what we need, a whole lot of money to spend. So much money, like more money than I've ever seen in my life, and I think that's the problem. I think I need to be like just given the very basics and be like, right, here's what you've got, right? 60 quid. What do you think? Everyone's 32. 5'6". Is this my chance to buy a player who's not 6 foot? Where does he fall down? James Lee McRae. No, it's not. No, this is not the time. This is not the time. I mean, at least I looked at it. I thought, right, fine. You know, I'll give it some credence, and I'll have a little nosy about and be like, oh, you know, what are you reckoning? I sort of played the game a little bit. Stop getting interested in hobbits. I'm trying an opposites thing. You know, maybe the Land of the Giants hadn't worked. Let's look at the other thing. Right back from Sunderland was decent. He was, but he was 32. 32, 40 grand a week. How much? Like, he might be good. He might well work fine. But how quickly is he going to decline? That's the question. Like, he's on that moment anywhere. It's like at 32, he's either going to be like have an absolute barnstormer of a season, which, to be fair, we only need him to have one season, or is he going to like nosedive straight away? He was third. I mean, he outperformed everybody last season. Third in distance covered in the Premiership, fourth in interceptions made, 128 interceptions, fifth in the league for clearances, sixth in the league for blocks, seventh for high intensity sprints, eighth for key tackles. Is he now dead though? That's the problem. Like, has he been literally like just that was his year? He was amazing, but now he's dead because he played too good last season. 16th in the league for open play and attempted crosses, 20th for dribbles, 31st for high intensity sprints, 22nd for interceptions per 90 minutes. That was his legs out on a blue tack. Enjoys big matches. Committed player who gives his all to the cause. That's what I want. But he's only got work rate of 12. He's on the decline, isn't he? Also lost possession, the fourth most. Did he? I mean, yes, he did. Yeah. Good point. Interesting. Very interesting. He's worth a look at. He might not be the guy that's going to be the guy, but he gives us something to work with, right? Or at least sort of compare against. "16 times a game if he's played all 38. I mean, his legs are broken. Let's be honest. You know, give him a 4-week trial. There's an idea, actually. I think as well, he's coming down to the championship as well. So we've also got that to think about. Any chance of signing the Huddersfield goalkeeper? We probably could, to be honest. We probably could. But I think he's only going to be coming in as a backup, really, if we're honest. Which, I guess, you know, it weakens another rival in the division. Go for Aipo again. I still don't understand how he went to Juventus. No idea. There are eyes and ears out to try and find us. Is Johnny Madhead still going? I can't go with Johnny. By Johnny Madhead, do you mean the Norwegian lad? Yes, he is still going. If that's the guy you're thinking about, we can't go. I have to try and take this season relatively seriously. And yes, there's definitely better goalkeepers than Rachel. I think that we're looking at one right now. Like, even if we just sign Cook, he's a better goalkeeper than Rachel. The goalkeeper that we looked, Hoyenhall, that's the guy. Yeah. Oh, Cook's gone to Norwich. Right, so in that sense then, do we now go for the Norwich goalkeeper? Let's compare him with... who else did we look at? It's the Sunderland goalkeeper, wasn't it? Right, time to compare Ben Hall and Matt Brown. Okay, 6'2" versus 6'2". Matt Brown, a little bit more rounded, I think. Communication's better. A little bit more eccentric, though. Distribution's a tiny bit better. Not as good in the air. A bit quicker. Both sweeper keeper, which is fine because we're going to play a little bit more. Are we playing front foot or are we playing a bit more counter-attack? Swedish keeper we're scouting, Franco, so we've got that scout on there as well. So we'll see what happens there. So aerial reach, Ben Hall's better, but his command of area is not very good, to be honest. 14 for Matt Brown. Communication's about the same. Handling, Ben Hall's better handling. Good at one-on-ones, the pair of them. Slightly more tendency to punch the ball. Reflexes are good, rushing out a bit higher, which I suppose for a sweeper keeper is probably good. Although his acceleration's not very good, so that's going to kind of be slightly counterproductive, maybe. Anticipation are both good. Determined nations, both the same. Decision making slightly better for Matt Brown. Positioning slightly better for Matt Brown. Slightly better teamwork, slightly better vision, so at least when he's clearing the ball, he might be able to get the ball out better. His kicking's ever so slightly better as well, and his throwing's tiny bit better. Better work rate. Slightly less agile. I think Matt Brown's the better choice, especially 26 and 27. Brown was playing Championship football last season. Hall was playing Premiership football. Sign Hall as the backup and Brown as first choice. Probably get them both, yeah. Yeah, Hall's only one-footed as well. Brown can kick with both feet. $1.3 mil. It's not too bad, to be honest, is it? You'd be happy with that. doesn't want to join Palace. So he just signed a new contract. I mean, that's upsetting. Issue being, they've just signed a new goalkeeper, mate. They don't want you. All right. Carlson apparently is a 3-star goalkeeper as well. So this is the guy that we're just comparing now, just scouting, I should say. Sorry. 6'6", big lad. Slightly worse shot stopping though. Getting commanding the area is good. Bit more eccentric. Maybe not as good with his hands or his feet or one-on-ones. Decision making's good, determination's good, positioning's good, vision's good. He's okay. He's okay. He could end up being the other way around. Get Hall as the starter, and he's the backup at this point. For what we know right now. Commanding the air is brilliant, yeah, but unfortunately his handling's only 12. His reflex to 15 though, so that's not too bad. Positioning's 14, so he's actually, I guess, in that sense, is pretty good. Vision's good, so again, maybe his kicking's not great, but his throwing's fine, so you might get him to throw the ball out rather than kick. 23 years old, cheap, could be a hell of a player, could be. Michael Cook's the one that we're probably a bit upset we've missed out on now. Lavelle's still an option, of course. You can either catch or kick the ball, just shout at defenders. Yeah, and when you're that tall, people will listen. So it does work. Hello from South Korea. Hello, Dak Rigatan. Appreciate you being in. Hope you're well. And Mido, appreciate the follow. Very kind. I mean, we could just roll the dice, couldn't we, on him? Struggle to be deemed as a player of high enough standard for a work permit even after appeal. I mean, that's not going to help, is it? Man, I just got Young Player of the Month. Oh no, evening Scott Chapman. Hello mate, how are you? Hossum's another option. Maybe loan him in, potentially. What's your in-game birthday? 24th of June. Happy birthday, Scott Chapman. What a lovely time for you to turn up. For your birthday, we tried to sign you a goalkeeper. I mean, that could be any birthday. That could be any day on this game, to be honest. Feels like it's one of those things that we've done all the time. All the time on Football Manager. Oh gosh, I'm 46. Hey, there's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with that. You know, my age at this point. What am I now? How old am I? 55. Home Office weren't having it. No, they're not. Furious, aren't they? Not anything about it. Kvaratskhelia. Tom Hayes. That's decent. Right, here we go. We're actually getting into here's me at 40. A couple of new gens in the chat have turned up just like, hey, we're brand new. Like, hi. Partnership with Tottenham confirmed. Top half finish. Still got 36 million quid. Tottenham may send us loan players. Yes. Oh, here we go. Resign. Oh, don't worry, Arsenal. Don't worry. Remember that all this football banter is it's all nonsense, isn't it? Really. bit of a back. Here's a background about Tottenham. Here's what they can do. Well, yeah, we know. Hotspur way. What happened with Huddersfield? Welcome, Takatika. So basically, what happened was we finished second in the league, and then we started nosing around, being like, right, what's the best thing we need to do? Could we win something with Huddersfield, or can we fast track our way up? And Crystal Palace were an option, and there's Huddersfield there in the Championship, have moved their way up. Look at the Spurs backup goalkeeper straight away. I'm just wondering, was there anybody at Huddersfield that we liked or that we loved who would be good enough to come to Palace? I don't think there is there really? I think the step up is too much. Assists for the season for Rogi. Rogi could make it. I feel like he needs to be given that opportunity, doesn't he? Biggs wasn't quite there. Dempsey doing the bits. Let's have a look at Tottenham's goalkeepers then. Stay away from Ward. Nemo Tasker. What about West Ham and Wolves? And Kreshnik Plana. Not brilliant. Michael Hadland. Don't know too much about. What about Celtic? Zach Burrows. Arsene Lala. Justin Lindo. Should we? Is there a thing where we can sort of like click players who are available for loan? Stoyanov, Pablo McLeod. Do they just send us the players, or do we have to request them? This shows how many link ups I've worked with recently, doesn't it? Like, what happens? So Preto's already at us. In fact, have they got a backup goalkeeper that they might just want to send? 188 million, Roberto Blanco. Andres Rodriguez. Could he be our backup goalkeeper? No, apparently not. It'd be nice if there's just like one handy player. Luke Young, formerly of Hartlepool. Good first touch, finishing 9 to 15 composure. Work rate's not brilliant. 7 goals in 58. Destiny Ugoji. Udinese in real life. Vittorio Benca. What about Real Madrid? Long Watong. There we go. 226 million. Incredible new gen. Spurs are getting him in the summer in real life. Nice. Manny Trafford, 28. Again, I mean, these are just new gen central, isn't it? Harvey Elliott. Oh, that Destiny lad, yeah. That'll be a good signing. Chris Giles. Even looking at the players in the first team, just like, is there anybody there that they might want to send us? Peter Vogel, possibly. 19 mil. Czech player. Work rate's not very good, to be honest. Sharon Door. We might end up with him. I've got him in Sunderland, actually. So that's probably the closest to a real player that I've signed. Ashley Phillips. Very expensive Uruguayan centre half. Tottenham could be handy for loans. Could be. Recruitment meeting. Here we go. Everton have made a bid for that fullback that we looked at. Let's have a think. Okay, so basically all goalkeepers are out. We don't like any of them. Militao's not going to fullback. It's going to have to be, who did we say was our first choice? Mendes? At this point, Mendes is our first choice right back. Then it's Diaz. And at that point, we want to start panicking because there's nobody else who's really good enough. And even then, it's not like they're good enough now. Take all them off there. So that'll be about right. Militao. I only really feel there's others, two players who can play that position. Canzari maybe. What's happening with O'Brien? Nothing at the minute. We've got a bid in for him. We're waiting to see if they'll accept it. Hopefully they will. Hopefully they'll let us have him. So if we can get him in, I'll be very, very happy about that. Ruhalt, Caterini, Mahoney, come out, Batella, Verissima. Right. Josh Griffiths wanted. That's fine. Get him gone. Get him gone. Reduce asking price. Remove from the transfer list. Is he going to be a squad player? Yeah, that's fine. Scully. Reduce asking price. Okay. Plenty of players interested. Goalkeeper, striker. What else do you want as a right back? Do you want a midfielder in there as well? DM? Probably. That seems about right, doesn't it? So I think we're relatively happy with our centre-backs. Relatively happy with what we've got up front. So we start the season away at Huddersfield. Oh, what about that? Sound the narrative, Claxon. Of course it is. Of course it is. They are going to be up for it, aren't they? They're going to fancy that. Jefferson Phillips going out on loan to West Brom. Ward hat-trick incoming. Oh, yeah. Without a doubt. Without a doubt. Armada off to Paris. Matt Brown, apparently. They're going to start playing a bit hardball, are they? QPR negotiation over Owen O'Brien. 19 mil. That's not a no, isn't it? That is not a no. Scenes if they beat Palace. Don't. We can't even begin to consider that as an option. We have to. We're all very much of the opinion that we go and we win all the time, and that's what happens from now on, right? Jamie Taylor looks all right. Let's get a scout on him, actually. His work rate's lacking a tiny bit, but for a fullback, wanted by Norwich, Leicester, QPR and Celtic, 6'4", 24, gives us something to work with. Who did they replace you with? Well, that's a good question, actually. Yeah, that's a good point, yeah. Who is he? Show me who he is. Ian Evert. Formerly of Colchester. So the top two teams, Colchester won the title. Their manager leaves to go and join Huddersfield, who came second, and their manager leaves to go and join Crystal Palace. Unbelievable. So who's now the Colchester manager? Nobody. So Colchester's job's still available. Interesting, wasn't it? Blackpool when they were in the Premier League. Yeah, it would have been, yeah. Promoted from League One by the playoffs. Then went to Chesterfield. Interesting, right? Charlie McCauley, Yannick Dabash, Dashback. He seems okay, but okay might not be good enough these days. Ben Dwyer, not quite good enough. Linus Merkel. Free? He's not. 19 for aggression. It's not what you need, is it? Cody Pete's gone to East Fife. There we go. There's a player we looked at back in the day. I think it was when we were at East Fife as well, actually. 19 for aggression. I mean, What are you doing as a goalkeeper with 19 aggression? Shouting at the centre backs, yeah. Handling 15, concentration 16, anticipation 16, teamwork 16. I mean, he looks incredible, but we can't afford him, sadly. Ryan Barker at Man City. High potential. I'm expecting to see more players on the shortlist, but then I'm just keep forgetting that actually, to be honest, I've only really advanced like half a day. So, have you got anything new yet? No, Gaffer. It was like literally 25 minutes you spoke to us last time. Interesting. Right, just you. If you find anything though, let me know. Right. Got left backs, and we might have that Brazilian left back coming as well. Loan works. Coach has gone to Norwich. What a bastard. Okay, so we need another coach now. Right. Can we get to the moment where players are released? Owen O'Brien's not interested. $16 million for Matt Brown. And Sam Jones? No. Yossi Benayoun could come in as a scout. There's a blast from the past. To be honest, not really gotten down at 35 grand a week. He's on 33, so he's taking a slight increase in wages. To be honest, let's have a look at the season preview. Actually, so we're third favourites to go up. Huddersfield 14th. Laville's still on a lot of money. Still interested. Sunderland didn't get relegated, I've just remembered. Sunderland stayed up. Of course they did. Toby Larone, do you remember him? Maybe we'll try and get him in on loan. Parsons is in the team of the season so far. Ben Hames, Howcroft. Tom Howcroft. Where's he playing him? Scout him. Raul Vasquez on loan from Leeds. Is Harry Kane the manager of Middlesbrough? Is he? Well, we're looking. Yeah, yeah, he is. He is. Gary Jones is now manager of Colchester after leaving Bristol City. Nagakura, Angelo, Ben Hames. 65 million quid. Want to buy Man U. Formerly of Norwich. Right, so it looks like Stoke are going to have some cash to spend. Adam Lewis. He's versatile. He can play anywhere. Let's have a look at him. He could be quite handy. Again, if Sheffield United are interested, that's another player who's want to buy a Premier League club. Isaac Martins is going to go with Derby on loan. It's fine, get another player out there to get some first team football in. Oh no, sold him. It's fine. Get him gone, get him gone. It's not a problem. Andy Young, Matthew Busby. Do we get Matt Busby in? Nathan Gardner, Dan Hughes, Murray McDowell, Gary Keown. Keep those going on, I think, to be honest. Right, so we can't get O'Brien as a permanent transfer, but we have made an offer for a loan. Derby want to sign Griffith, which is fine. He doesn't. Matt Brown doesn't want to come. Right, so that's 2 goalkeepers down. We're now onto Ben Hall. Abubakar's going off to Sunderland. Right, so we're buying Sunderland's we're looking to buy Sunderland's first choice goalkeeper. They're bringing in our third choice goalkeeper. That's interesting. Right. I don't like putting contributions in for players, but is O'Brien the one to pay for? Do you know what I mean? Like, do we just pay the loan fee essentially? Lloyd Maloney's gone on loan to Dundee United. That's cool. Right, there we go. 1 goalkeeper's in. Ben Hall, are we happy with that? It's a goalkeeper, isn't it? It's a start. Mike Callum has achieved back-to-back surgery and is in League 2 in season 9. Nice. I mean, he got the most saves per 90 minutes in the Premiership. He was second highest for saves held. His second highest in expected saves, because of course Sunderland were terrible. Relishes big matches, deals with big crosses, the high balls in the area. Fairly determined. 13th in penalty saving as well. Better than we we better than anything we had could still do with someone else. Oh, sorry, I've reread that there. I thought that was better than what we've done. Callum's. It's not. We've won things. But then I realised you were talking about Ben Hall. We have a goalkeeper now. That's what we need to look at. We have a goalkeeper. C+. Oh, God. Concerned about his motivation to play at this level. He'll be fine. Personality, fairly determined. That's good. That's okay. Wants to win a trophy. Don't we all? Don't we all, Ben? Would like to one day be captain at the club. I mean, what's your leadership like? 15? That's not bad. What's the situation with captains? Nagakura is the captain. Jesus Menendez is the vice captain, but everyone hates him. Do we maybe take that off him? If people don't like him, would that be the worst thing in the world? How do you find out who doesn't like people? Like, is there a way to sort of like just click straight on them and be like, oh yeah, them two don't get on? Struggling to connect with Vismara. Like the whole goalkeeper signing, wish it had been seen as a regular star instead of a star. Yeah, I think I've just massaged his ego a little bit, to be honest, to get him in. To be like, look, come on, in you come. You can be, you've come from the Premier League. You're stepping down for a second. Like, maybe I've just offered him a bit too much. But then again, I promised the world to Crystal Palace. So we'll have to see what happens. Ben Hall, anything White Callum does after 6 or 7 in a row playoff run is phenomenal. Oh, 100%. But it's also what we said previously about, like, once you get on that run and into the Football League, like, you get a bit of momentum going. And hopefully that's going to help for him. The jump from League 2 to League 1 isn't that huge. Into the Championship is, once you get the Championship, that's when it starts to get tricky, and that's what we're going to find now. That's why we jumped to Crystal Palace. If you use the down arrow, you don't need to keep going back up. Whereas Zaha, we're in 2035, Taka, so it's going to be long gone when you look at the main information page. Oh, okay. So what? So if I click, oh yeah. If I jump through players, that's right. Yeah. I think it's just a force of habit, to be honest. To be like sort of still keep. All right, I'll go back in. I'll go back in. Be interesting to see where Zaha is. He's left. He's gone. Gone completely. So there you go. That was it. Decided against it. Klujek. A mercenary. Bring the Swedish keeper as backup. We're going to look at it, but they did say that it doesn't look like he's going to get a work permit, so that could be a problem. Where was it? When I go here, make offer. Carlson would need to have played more than 60% of the games for his country in the previous 2 years to automatically qualify for a work permit. He also doesn't have the required number of points from the other categories to reach the points required threshold. Carlson would struggle to be deemed a player of high enough standard for a work permit even after an appeal. So I think we're going to struggle, basically. He's only got 5 caps so far for Sweden. He has a minimum free release clause of 875 grand. We might have to wait. He might be someone we get later on, but Yeah, we're going to struggle right now, sadly. Still no more right backs coming in. Espanyol and Vallecano, interested in that Sunderland defender. Don't know if he's turned us down or not for a trial. Might have done. Right, so once this day progresses through, we should have some players leave, and then we should be able to get some players come in. Leandri to Marseille, possibly. Draw for the Carabao Cup's been made. Away to Barnet. Take that. We're at Huddersfield. Can't see them. Oh, they're just literally just below me. Huddersfield away at Crawley. Oh, Z's coming in. Yes. Free transfer. Free transfer Brazilian fullback. In fact, you know what? Very strong and reasonable. Could we turn him to a right back, do you reckon? He's only 23. Free transfer. I just signed Jovan Slivic Grafika. Does Brazilian speak any English? We're about to find out. You might have to go on a language course, but language is spoken. He speaks basic English. He understands just about enough. I love the fact we've managed to just, like, we're going, right, let's sign a goalkeeper. Let's sign a goalkeeper. Got 35 million quid to spend. Free transfer left back. It's just Tony Jameson all over in it. Couldn't be any more. Right, there we go. Players have left. Staff have left. I have to go and rejig a few more bits and pieces. They're still saying it's good. Sequay, they're saying it's good. Angel. Right. I like the look of this fella. And I think his value's gone up a little bit. So I think I've maybe sat on him too long. Teamwork isn't brilliant. But I like everything else. He's 23. Theoretically, he's going to get better. Leadership could maybe do with a bit of a nudge. Tackling's good. High potential, apparently. 3rd for cross completion. 9th for tackles. 12th for distance. Volatile temperament. Enjoys big matches, likes sprinting. Oh, temperamental. No. Okay, maybe not. Jake Garrett, would he sit nicely? Sound like a challenge. Would he sit nicely? Would he do that? Atletico Madrid again wanting more players. Nuremberg this time for Dashback. Didier Manga. Defensive mid. 6'2", 28. Won about 11 clubs. Lazio, Fiorentina. Roma. I mean, he's going to be handy then, isn't he? I suppose let's try and see if we can be in there, can we? Laurent Segura, 27. Oh, I think we found the perfect fullback, a right back who attempts overhead kicks. We have to have this guy. 7 for tackling, only 11 for flair. So the free kicks apparently just come the overhead kicks apparently just come natural to him. Acceleration's good. Jumping reach isn't brilliant. Marking's not great. Tackling's not great. But he tries overhead kicks and he's a fullback. You've got to have this guy, surely. Comes in for the bants, if nothing else. He's 100% one of those just like, yeah, let's get him in. He seems fun. Just can't not sign him. Salazar, Regis Michels, sorry. Oh, we've had problems having players from Burton, haven't we? Lee Miles, for example. Paciero. Is he the lad from... Bring him in and see what he looks like, but... $1.3 million. We could give 1.3 million to Newcastle, and that's about it, really, couldn't we? Teamwork, work rate, tackling, marking, jumping reach, acceleration's not brilliant. 6'6". Could play left back. Archie Doherty. Terrific signing. 72nd in progressive passes in the Championship. That's not... I wouldn't necessarily say that's terrific. That's definitely that. Basically, what they mean is he definitely played in the league last season. Definitely played. Patrick Kayembe. Solkeld again. Alfie Harrison from Huddersfield, we know all about him. Noah Carroll, we do know a lot about as well. He's a good player. Azende. Nigel Jones from Bournemouth. Gets the crowd going. Can play right back. Can't tackle though. Love this, can't tackle. I'll get him on the shortlist just in case. players coming on trial. Just have a little nose yet. What do you reckon? Do we try and pay the money for O'Brien on loan? I tend not to like paying loan fees, but he is very, very good. Right. Let's get back into the players who've been released now then. Wait for the system to crunch through at this point. I think we've managed pretty good. We've been, 3.5 hours, and we've actually managed to just about get through about 3 weeks, which is a huge amount of time for us. There you go, Z, potential to be a key player for the club. Now, do we think we can retrain him as a right back as well? Is it worth it? Because we've got 2 left backs. I presume he can do it. Wolves have made a bid for Nagakura. It's not a good bid though, is it? Lazio have made a bid for Scotta. Telford have made a bid for Snowy Winter. I mean, that's the big one, isn't it? Right. Let's go through the released players, shall we? Ramsdale retiring. John Amis, Jack Salisbury. Seems to play everywhere, but was only wanted by non-league clubs, so that's not a good thing. Brentford, Lazar Samardžić. Scott Jones. Would have been fine if we were still at Huddersfield, I think. Andre Denoon. Chris Wallace. Phil McKenna, Kwadwo Donko, Danny Fletcher, Ben Brown, Ederson, 35-year-old attacking midfielder, Umar Soleh, 35, Kartsev, Adam Gibson, in the trial. Evening, mate. How are you, pal? Nice to see you in. Hope you're good. Lucius Inglethorpe. Lucius Inglethorpe has got to be a player we've got to look at. What a name that is. Even if he's shite, that's incredible name. Like, we've got Lucius, because we then have Lucius Inglethorpe and Lewis Jones Roberts Johnson or whatever. Like, get them all in. almost, the thing is though, I think some people would be like, are you back at Oxford again? There's a lot of Tory names in there. Will Davis want to buy Ipswich? Simpson and Duca. Kyle Williams. Chuck Weezy, 36. Engel Shion. Gareth Breeze. Oh, we had a look at him, didn't we? He's got 20 for determination, but you don't really think he's pushed on as much. Raymond Skeet. Frankie Brady. Yusuf Rozio, Luis Pereira. Might be alright if he's from Man City. Middlesbrough want him. Luton want him. Everton want him. Cardiff want him. Would you have been better had United won and not lost? Oh, really? Okay. That's not good. That's not good if you get potentially having players injured as well. Madueke, 33. Retired. Luke Thomas, 34. Rivero. Baker, what about Walsall? Dave Edwards. Mark Lyons. Molly Jones. We're at Palace now, yeah. We jumped ship from Huddersfield. We got promoted. You know, everything was looking nice, but we looked at what Huddersfield were going to offer us, which was 1.7 million. It wasn't a lot. And then Crystal Palace were like, we'll give you £36 million to spend. And it's like, see you, Huddersfield, bye now. It's been really nice talking to you. It's been really great playing, but like we have to go now. And yeah, so the interesting thing is that Huddersfield, of course, have been promoted into the Championship, which is where we are now. And Colchester won the league. The Colchester manager has taken over the Huddersfield job, and we've of course taken over in the Championship. So it's interesting that the top two teams both lost their manager essentially. That Norwich goalkeeper might be a good backup on a free. I just missed. Which one was the Norwich goalkeeper? Was I 2-click happy there, was I? Don't think there was a Norwich goalkeeper. Let's keep our eyes peeled. There might not. I don't think that was a Norwich goalkeeper. Oh, that one there from Peterborough, Nathan Harley. The other one you're on about, yeah. Maybe, but I don't know, 1.5 stars. I think that's. I feel like we should be looking a bit higher. Even for backups, I think we should be looking at. I think we sold players that were better than that. Oh, I'll say Des Scott, Tyler Murray. Again, another left-sided player. Walcott, Melkerson, 32 years old, got a headband. 25, 5'4". Harry Bullock, 6'7" goalkeeper. Ali Malice, Dwight Russell. I mean, what's Melkerson saying? Where's Melkerson come from? Buddha. players out from Tottenham. Harry Bullock, what a name. 34. 23. Shepherd 19. Joe Vaham. And Duca. West Ham Wolves, I think this must be the last top team now. Ben Godfrey, 37. Yashin Adli. Let's try and get Wardle in for a trial, shall we? Maybe the same for Paul Mead. Maybe he might not be good enough, but we can certainly have a nosy. And is Yashin Adli worth a look? On his 34. Hell of a career. Bordeaux, Milan, Lazio, Celtic, Spain, Everton, Wolves. 34 might be a little bit too old, I think. Right. Vishmara's in. There we go. Right, we've got through about 3 weeks. Lucius Inglethorpe doesn't want to come in on trial. I'm really upset. Adam Gibson doesn't want to come in on trial. Why not? Davies will, Wardle will, Pereira will. These players might not even be good enough, but we might as well get them in and have a little look at them. Breeze, Fringe. Bio's been released. 33. Carrera room. Right. At least we've done something. We've moved something on. We've got a friendly in 21 days. We might get there tomorrow. Maybe. There's no guarantees. What we will do now, though, is we will send you across to... I say we go with the charity stream. The charity stream's on right now, so it seems a good idea to send you across to Dill. We go to Dill quite a bit, but as I say, there's a charity stream on right now, so go and offer your support if you can. I know we've been out for a while tonight, but go and send them some love. We'll be back tomorrow, usual time, 9 o'clock. We might get towards the end of pre-season at some point. We'll see. But no, as always, appreciate you all. Take it easy. Speak to you all tomorrow. Take care. Bye now.
Whenever you needed to hear it, there were adventures that could stir the weariest soul, or even move you to tears. But surely, a storyteller so great must be just another story, right?
It's my second go at it, and I'm doing the off season again. But Tony, how is your stream, bro? How is your I forget what word you specifically use for it, like British steel, right? British steel, I want to say something steel, some sort of metal. It's a place and a metal combined, I know that for sure. But how's that going? But welcome in, guys. I'm Dylan, Dill40K, trying to help raise some money for the FM community charity stream for